Hey Juliana, you're most welcome back to my channel. Today's installation is something special, okay? I haven't done this hairstyle before and it being my first time. I think it really went well. You can tell from the looks, okay? So this is a 5x5 closure quick weave. Okay, I've just used glue to sew on the wig. Very, very simple. I bought some bundles from Amazon, and then I also had some old bundles that I used, and I did heatless curl. So basically, this is what the installation is going to be about. It is very, very simple. If you don't know how to do basic sew-ins, this is something that you can start trying and practicing. Okay, so I hope it really helps. And if you love this video, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next clips. Okay, stay tuned. All right, so like I mentioned, these are the bundles I got from Amazon, 22, 18, and 16 inches. They came in with a closure actually, and this is how they all look together. The color is color 1B. Over here, I'm just showing you the extra extension I'm going to be using for the hair, okay? I just want it to look full, all right? Now, over here, I'm just trying to, lay the closure down so that I'll be able to pluck it more. And to do that, I do the flattening in sections. So I go in sections with my hot comb, and then I apply a little bit of wax stick so that everything is smooth and flat for me to be able to install. And over here, I had already plugged it. If you need a plugging tutorial, let me know. I'm going to post this on my TikTok because it's going to be a very short one. And over here, I'm just using the lace tint mousse to, cover the lace or tint the lace. And I'll follow it up with my thread and needle. I love the curved needle. It's so flexible to use. And the placement of the closure on your head should, exceed your hairline so that it will really, really come closer to your forehead. So the measurement you would usually use for is like usually where you place your closure, okay? And I only use a lace, a skin protector to, wipe my skin, especially for those of us who have sensitive skin. And then the lace glue I'm using, or the glue spray I'm using is Red Styler by Kiss, or Styler Fix by Kiss. And I go ahead to make it tacky before I place the lace on my forehead. And then I press it in with my comb, and I go on to press it with my elastic band. Because the elastic band is going to be on my head until I am done, or like more than halfway, I make sure that it is not too tight so that it will really allow me to melt the lace inside. Now, sewing the closure onto the head, it's very, very simple, just that you have to take your time and be patient with it so that you don't experience any bumpiness after you have sewn it, okay? So what you want to do is that because you have already used the elastic band to kind of secure it at the front, you stretch the hair towards all the back so that you use the thread and needle to start sewing from the back, so that by the time you get to the front, you really have a stretched closure so that it will lay flat at the part you are putting the closure on. Now you saw the pattern of my hairstyle, the pattern of my cornrow before I laid the closure exactly. If you want it to be a side part, then you can do the pattern in a side part mode, all right? And then once you have stretched the closure and you are sewing it, you've sewn it at the back, then you go around and then you repeat it until you exhaust the thread on the needle. Just make sure that you go back and forth so that it really, really be secure and you can wear the hair for a very long time. I've worn mine for like 2 weeks straight. You can actually stretch it. It all depends on your maintenance routine and how long you want it to be like, okay, or go for. So over here, I just sewed the thread into my cornrows and I cut the thread, and it's not going to come out, okay? And once I know that it is secured, everywhere is secured and flat, okay, so there's no bumpiness. Now I'm going to cover my hair with these wrap strips together with the mint spray from BO16. It's minty, very, very good for the scalp. So instead of using water or glue spray, I use the tint mint spray on the paper wrap so that I place it on top of my cornrows so that they give me a something like a protection, because I'm going to use glue and I don't want the glue to sieve into my cornrows or my natural hair, okay? At the end of the day, you are going to get a little bit of glue here and there in your natural hair, but it shouldn't be too much, okay? Now when I'm done, I place the net on it and sewed the thread and needle and sewed the net with the thread and needle at where the cornrows are so that it follows the pattern such that it only leaves me with the closure that will be exposed, and then I work my way through. So you get the memo, right? Good. Now what I'm pouring onto this brush is called a protective guard. With this part, you can actually skip it, but I want extra protection. It's supposed to protect your hair from the glue so that you don't experience a lot of glue into your hair at the end of the day. And I'm using this high intense beam spray. It's a temporal black spray which will give my foundation a very good look before I start laying the wigs or the bundles onto it. Over here, I'm just trying to measure the wig onto my head, and I'm using the So Pro bonding glue from Amazon, and I apply the glue onto the weft of the hair, and then I let it be tacky before I place it on. Now with the placement, I start all the way from my back and I work my way through, and I bring it all the way near the closure. Okay, so it is not on top of the closure, it is right near the closure, and then I blow dry it on cold heat to secure the glue before I go on to the next attachment. And how I apply the glue is exactly how you are seeing it. Just apply it on the weft, and I'm doing double wefts here. So all the extensions I'm doing is double weft, except when I get to the upper part of my hair where I'm going to use a single weft. Okay. So once the glue is a little bit tacky, it's similar to applying your mascara eyelashes on your eyes. So it gets tacky, the glue gets tacky before you apply it on the hair, and then you press it in. Over here, I just remove the elastic band to follow it up with the next step where I cut the lace and apply my contour powder. I dip it in spirits or melting spray, and then I apply it with a brush, and then I let it dry and I apply my elastic band on it. Then I started using my bundles from Amazon. So the old extension I had was one full bundle, so I followed it up with my Amazon bundles, and that one full bundle from the old extension got me to the level where I'm now applying the or attaching the Amazon bundles. And over here I'm still going in with the double wefting all the way to the back of my head. Okay, and I'm just placing it on. Now with the inches of the hair, I used longer inches at the back, like as in all the way, like I started with longer inches. Let me put it that way. I started with longer inches. So for example, the inches were 22, 18, 16. So 22 inches would go all the way to my back, like the nape of my neck, and then 18 would be at the middle, and then 16 would be on top. Okay, because the closure is 16. All right, good. Now over here, what I did was that I used just one weft to actually attach when I got to the upper part of my head. And once all the spaces are exhausted, I just measure the bundle or the weft all around the closure, such that it will cover the extensions very, very neatly. Okay, and then I cut any excess just behind the closure, which lies on my forehead. Do you understand? And then I press it in. For all the wefts you'll be laying on top of your head, make sure that you are pressing it in very, very well. And this is how much was left: one bundle and just a few hair. Okay, so you press it in, you blow dry it on cold to secure the hair before you move on to the next attachment. Okay, otherwise you don't want your hair to be moving about after you have sticked it on. And the glue is very, very good. I'll list all the products in the caption so that you can purchase it. I got it all from Amazon, right? And then over here, because I am trying to style the hair, I'm going in sections. Actually, I'm going in sections and making sure that I'm pressing everything in. And for my curls, I'm using this Tressemme and conditioner. You can equally use a leave-in conditioner. You put it in a bottle, you pour water and mix it thoroughly. And then once it becomes like a liquid consistency, you start applying it onto the hair by first going in with the conditioner and the water, like the mixture, onto the section of hair, and then you apply your hair mousse and you roll the hair on your flexi rods. Okay, I'm doing heatless curls. This is heatless curls. You can go ahead and do your heat curls with your curler or whatsoever, but I really wanted a certain kind of pattern for my curls, and so this is the route I chose. I think I've done a couple of demonstrations with my other hair tutorials, but this is how to do it. Like I always say, you are viewing it and you are watching with your naked eyes. And so whatever be the case, if you don't get it, all you need is to repeat the video as many times as possible and play it in slow motion as many times as possible. Okay. Now over here, my hair is completely dry. I let the Flexi Roll stay in my hair for like 3 days. That's how I let it stay in my hair for 3 days because I had time. You can actually let it stay for just maybe some hours. Make sure that it's completely dry before you remove the Flexi Rolls. And this is how the lace has melted into my skin, and placing it up or raising it up, that's how it looks like. Very, very bouncy. The hair is very, very full. You don't have to use sorry, you don't have to use all extensions, but if you want very full hair like myself, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. So basically, this is everything that is needed to style this hair. Let me know if you have any other questions, and do stay tuned for my next hair tutorial. I'll see you in my other videos, and do check my other hair tutorials. Have a blessed day. Love you. Bye.